Well, hello everybody. How are you? Welcome to my farmhouse. I'm Sherry Mitchell and I'm here today. We're going to make a batch of hermit cookies, zucchini hermit cookies. Since the last time that we got together, haven't we all been hermits? We've had to stay at home because of this coronavirus. Not supposed to be out 6 feet away. Yeah. But in the meantime, everyone has rallied around a victory garden. And for the victory garden is a means of providing food for your family. Now, I usually garden, and I've done that on a small scale, most as the rule, these last 10 years. Prior to that, I filled a freezer, I fed 3 children and a hubby, and raised a big garden. Now, I raised another big garden. Didn't know how prices of food was going to be or whether it would be plentiful. So you couldn't wait until August to say, I think I should have planted a garden. Although you can plant a few things in August and still reap a harvest. But what we did is we planted zucchini. And doesn't everyone love zucchini for all of the wonderful things that you can do with them? You can make zucchini boats where you put in some pizza-like sauce, whatever you want to do, onions and green peppers and mushrooms and cheese. You can make zucchini bread. And you can make these zucchini hermit cookies. And I've not made these before. This is a first for me. So I'm going to figure out ways to use up my zucchini because they are coming on. And I'm telling you, you go out there and you get a lot. A medium-sized zucchini, not one of the big giant ones and not one of the little ones that we like to fry in a little butter, saute. You can get 4 1-cup packages out of just one medium zucchini. So if you have some and you put it in the freezer, it's always nice in the winter to bake, is it not? And you can get your zucchini out. I just marked it, zucchini 1 cup, so that I would know what I needed to do. So let's get started. It's a very simple recipe. I'm gonna pull my recipe over here so I can read to you. Again, I'm missing my students who have helped me film while I'm here in my kitchen all by myself, okay? But it's not difficult. So we're gonna take, for starters, 1/2 cup of butter. It says right on there what it is. I put it in the microwave just for 10 seconds to soften it up slightly. Anytime you're doing a recipe and butter and sugar are involved, you want to beat that together, okay? So today we're gonna use my little old-fashioned portable hand mixer, right? We went from stand mixers way back in the day, then we went to the portable, and now we're kind of back to the big KitchenAid, which I have one and I really like it. It's great for not needing the extra hand when you're doing certain things. So we're just gonna whip this together. And that's not hard to see. Yeah, it's called creaming. Cream your butter in here. Kind of hard to talk over that. So a whole stick or 1/2 cup of butter. And then always, whenever you have butter and sugar, you want to do them together. So we're going to put our sugar in here. And we'll cream those together. At the end of the video, so if you'd like to try them, it's something else that you can do. One of the other things it's kind of hard to talk over that thing, isn't it? One of the other things that you can do is also make, I just got a recipe and I just got a taste for some zucchini, not salsa, but I bet you can make salsa out of that too. I have to think about that for a moment. Okay, and then we have 1 egg that goes in there. Cream all that together. Blending it well. It's going to look like that. Yep. Okay. And then we're going to need, I'm going to go ahead and get, I think I need 1 more out of here. I just love these old-fashioned glass jars. We'll just call that good. Okay. And we need it all together 2 cups of flour. Okay? And then also into the flour, we'll go ahead and put our other dry ingredients. So we're going to need 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Shake that up a little bit. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. 1 teaspoon, yep. And then we need 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And you know, every time I'm doing any kind of measuring like this, our home ec teacher, God rest her soul, Betty Ellis Cantor, I believe was her name later in life. She always said never measure, like never measure that salt over the bowl, because if you accidentally poured too much, you ruined everything. So I always kind of remember that. So you notice I mixed over here into my flour, and they say blend that all together anyway with a whisk or however you need to do it. Okay. We want to make sure the baking soda, of course, gets to everything, as well as that little bit of salt and the cinnamon. So we got that all mixed up and ready to go. The next thing that we're going to do, very simple here, is we are going to add our zucchini into our butter, sugar, and egg mixture. So that's 1 cup. I measured that earlier. Okay, looks like this. Okay, we're just going to whip that up. Now I just did a coarse grate on that. You could probably do this on the finer, like the way that you do cheese for Gold Star chili, that kind of thing, or Skyline. Let's plug them both, right? If you don't like the coarseness of that. Okay, I don't know. I'm going to find out how it's going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and put in some of my dry mixture. Stir that up some, because we're going to start making the dough is what it's going to be. We'll drop these onto a greased cookie sheet. We're going to bake at 375. Notice that I already have the oven going. I've learned that's the first thing you want to do, because there's nothing worse than you're all hungry and ready for a batch of cookies and you look over and the oven didn't get started, and that takes a good 6 to 10 minutes to warm up, and it's just a delay of gain. Okay, so we're going to put the rest of that in there. Here's what it's looking like. Making a nice little doughy batter here. And we'll be dropping those, let's see, drop by a teaspoonful. Well, I always do it bigger than a teaspoonful, because everybody likes those mammoth-sized cookies, right? Now you can put in whatever you want. You can do 1 cup of raisins and 1 cup of nuts if you want to. But not everybody in the family likes those things, right? Okay. So I'm going to get a stiffer spoon to stir with. Give me a moment. I'm back. Because the dough is getting a little bit stiff, yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to add the nuts, okay, because we like nuts. I always think nuts makes protein, so that makes the cookies a lot better, right? Better for you? Of course they are. The cinnamon is good for your blood sugar, right? Of course they are. But you know, 1 cookie's not bad for you. That's when you get to number 12. That's when you should have stopped at 3, right? If you have problems with diabetes, sugar is a problem, right? But a nice little cookie and a cup of coffee is so soothing. Yes. All right, so this is getting very stiff, as you can see. Okay. And then we're just going to get our cookie sheet over here. Sorry, I can't help myself. Okay, so I've got a greased cookie sheet here. Move some of my stuff out of the way. And I have a teaspoon, and then I have a tablespoon. So I'm going to use a bigger one, okay? Hope you don't mind, okay? And I'll just kind of gauge this. You can just, if you want to be really sanitary, and you don't want to touch all this. By the way, I did wash my hands. I always do. More so now than I ever did. 2. 3. Oh, that one doesn't want to stick together very good, does it? Well, let's plop that one right back in the dish. Okay, he was on the outside edges. Do over number 3. Okay. So now that I'm making these a little bit bigger, I probably am going to have to adjust my time. So I might have to do those just a little bit longer than it calls for. And it says bake 12 to 15 minutes. Now this recipe also will be out on my blog, which is sherryphillipsmitchell.com, my farmhouse journal, memories and recipes. And this is one recipe I never grew up making. Hey, by the way, I just wanted to ask you, how'd you like my tan? These hot days and running that mower makes for a beautiful tan. Sure does. Okay. Those are looking good. Okay, and we're almost there. Hang with me now. Hang. Gosh, I hope these don't spread out too big. You think? I don't know. For those of you who know, whether baking soda alone makes a big fat puffy cookie, I don't know. Or is it the baking powder that makes the bigger, fatter cookie? I don't know either. All right. So here we are now. These are looking good. Okay. 12 to 15 minutes in a preheated 375 degree oven. And into the oven they go. We'll start the timer somewhere on here. Cook time. I think I've told you this before. I always start with the lower number, 12, and check. Seems like my oven cooks a little faster and a little hotter. And sometimes on cakes, if I wait the whole entire, it'll say 20 to 25 minutes, sometimes 30 to 35. If I wait the whole entire time, it will totally dry that cake right out. So I always try to check in a little earlier. Eventually, you're going to know what your oven does, and you can adjust it on your recipe card. All right, so we'll be back in just a minute to let you see our zucchini hermit, because we're all hermits right now, hanging out in isolation by ourselves. Not that we want to, hermits like to, but we are. See you in a bit. Okay, so I'm back. I've been out to the garden. I got 2 more zucchini. I like to get them really small like this when you want to saute them by just slicing them. A little butter in the pan, move them around. Wonderful little meal. And probably one of those would grate up. I take the seeds out of the middle, grate them up. That would probably be about a cup for this recipe. So our zucchini hermits are all ready, and they look delicious. When I found this recipe, I forgot that I was looking for zucchini bread, which I'm going to make. And I found this 3x5 recipe card in my recipe 10. And it does not have the person who gave it to me, and I always like it when they did. I've tried to figure out the handwriting, and I can't. I tried to decipher the recipe card. Maybe I could figure it out. I couldn't. So I don't know who gave this to me. It's been a long time ago. I forgot all about it. But with a great little cup of milk, like back in the day, and a nice fluffy cookie, we can, like we always did, we always dunked our cookies Just a hint of cinnamon. Very moist. You're getting your fiber. The kids will probably never know. You can definitely taste the nuts in that. Very good. So I only cooked them 12 minutes. I have another pan to get out of the oven. Enjoy the zucchini hermit. Bon appetit.